Hey y'all. If you're new here, I'm Shayna and I'm reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 12. And y'all know how I like to do for this particular show. I go couple by couple because there's a lot of information. But I will say tonight, it was pretty uneventful. There wasn't that much information. We know there was one couple in particular that had all the information. So we're going to definitely get into it. Before we do, it's been about a week. It started this time last week. So the cold is hopefully, and we're going to manifest it and speak it into existence, is coming to an end, y'all. Because, I was getting tired. But if y'all see me pause the video, that means a little cough trying to slip out. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. I'm just going to go randomly with the couples. Actually, let's start with the uneventful couples. And we'll work our way to the most interesting. So you definitely want to watch until the end. And if you like this type of content, subscribe. Help me grow with me. I'm trying to grow my channel. So definitely grow with your girl. So I'll say that we should start with Lindy and Miguel. Boring, snooze fest. We almost could just save them till decision day. If we don't see them in Ben and Morgan anymore, it's fine. It's okay. I promise they won't be missed. And it's crazy because it's not having drama is a good thing. Not having a lot going on and it being, uneventful and not really having much happening is a positive in real life. But on TV, maybe we need to see some kind of drama. Where's my drink? Sorry. Ooh. My back is on fire, and I took oh my god, that hurts. 4 ibuprofens, and they didn't kick in yet. And so let's make this a quick review. Cause my back. Ooh, you can't, once you get over 30, you just can't be reaching for stuff super fast. You gotta. Oh, God, you gotta take your time with it. That's what I get for talking about Lindy and Miguel. Sheesh. I said what I said, no, they boring. But, so they don't even talk. The couples were talking to Dr. Pia, who's the intimacy therapist. I guess she replaced Dr. Viviana. They didn't even talk to her because they don't got nothing going on. So since they don't have no drama, they don't need to meet with her. Instead, they get a baby doll to help them. Oh, my back. Ooh. Y'all, this ain't no joke. One swift movement and you will be out. I'm overcoming a cold. Now I'm the cold's going away. And then my back. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I tried to stretch, but I'm scared to move and I'm scared it's going to get worse. Please, God, be a fence and let me be able to sleep tonight. Please. I need my heating pad. Lord. Okay. Anyway, they got a baby, one of those baby dolls, how they had on Love Island. If you watch those reviews, they had one of those babies where they had to, help them parent. And Miguel is ready for children, apparently. So, he's all for it. He's staying up. The baby woke up every 2 hours in the middle of the night, like a real baby would. And he was jumping right up. He went to play basketball with the guys. He had the baby right there. So he's ready. He's giving daddy mode, daddy daycare. He's ready to be a daddy. So Lindy at one point calmed the baby down. And when she was talking, a few scenes when she was talking, she would look over, I don't know if she was looking at the producer or the cameraman. Girl, you supposed to, at least pretend Miguel the only one in the room. Why are you looking at the other people in the room? Focus back on Miguel. So that's all that happened with them, nothing else. We have one scene with Ben and Morgan, something forced. They had to meet with Dr. Pia. So they were awkwardly waiting for her to come. Of course, Morgan came with her scrubs on because now every time Ben sees her, he's going to see her with her scrubs on to remind him that she's a nurse. She going to make it known each and every time. So Morgan begins to, play victim once again. I'm over her. I am not feeling her. And I do not say I'm not feeling people often, but I am not feeling her at all. Ben admits that he's afraid of Morgan, and her temper reminds him of his dad and like how his dad talked to him when he was a child, and it's a trigger for him. He's saying that is Morgan going to take full accountability for her part in it? No. She admits she could have changed her tone, she could have changed her verbiage, but still, yet she goes back to blaming him. She said she didn't get a genuine apology. Like she didn't, it didn't feel sincere and heartfelt. How many ways? I'm tired of him apologizing. At this point, he done apologized 11 times. How many ways can he say it? Yeah, it's not coming off genuine anymore because you like, goodness, how many more times can it be said? You're not going to believe him. You don't want to. You just want to say no on decision day. Why are we even meeting? So, he's taking the blame, and she's yet to say that she lied. And I think because he's taking the blame, like he's like, yeah, I did it. I was wrong. Yep, it's my fault. I did it. All my fault. That Dr. Pia didn't even realize that Morgan, too, played a part in this. And I thought I was going to put this to rest, but I can't. She lied first. Like, we never even touch on it because Ben's so quick to be like, oh, it was me. That we not even addressing the fact that had she not lied initially, we wouldn't be even sitting here right now. I feel like he's just too timid and he needs to just call her out, basically. So then later on at the end of the episode, the ladies are meeting at the beach. The guys, they play basketball. Morgan tells the ladies that she wants an emotional apology. And Alexis is like, why do you want something that you're not going to get? He has been getting it. And that's why you need to mind your business, Alexis. You played a part in this. You had something to do with it. So, hush. Had enough of her. Stacia was like, even if he did, you wouldn't believe him anyway. So what's the point? And I agree. But before she can even respond, here goes Lindy caping, talking about, oh, I just feel like he's trying, but he's not trying hard enough. Girl, you don't know what's going on. And that's why you need to mind your business and be in your marriage. Quick to blame him. Mitch thinks it's unfair that Ben keeps blaming himself. And I agree. I agree with Mitch on that. Speaking of Mitch, let's go ahead on to Kristen and Mitch. Mitch is we start the episode off actually with Mitch getting advice from his friend Shayna. These women on these shows with my name. Now, I liked what the advice this Shayna was giving because we know the Shayna over there in Love is Blind. Honey. But she advises him to because I guess he was joking while being intimate with Kristen and she didn't find it funny. And I don't know who would. Like, why are we gay? Like, if something happened, it's like, but if you sitting over there cracking jokes, like this is, Comic View or Def Comedy Jam. No, this is not Comedy Hour. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Like, now it's uncomfortable. So, I get it. And the friend is just advising, like, you need to hear what she's saying and not do that while being intimate. So, perfect timing for Dr. Pia to come because they need intimacy, help, and advice. And they play a game, like, some Q&A where they're getting to know each other's background. Kristen shared a vulnerable moment about, her childhood, and she did not like Mitch's response to it. She got upset and started crying. She's like, he's never just like, oh, that's really cool. Or, I really like that you shared that. Like, she just doesn't like how his tone. I thought, Kristen was going to lay down earlier in the season and just be a doormat the whole time. But Kristen coming with it, y'all. She lets Mitch know how she feels. She digs up in his behind. Like, she let him know how she's feeling. She tells him. So, and I appreciate it. And Mitch looking like Ben over there. Like he a little scared and a little timid himself. So then they say Dr. Pia asks like what's going on with the intimacy because we know they consummated the marriage. And they said they took a break from having sex because of him thinking that, I don't know who he thought he was, Kevin Hart or something in the middle of them being intimate. So now they're taking a break from it. The jokes just were not well received. He gave an explanation like, to him, those things are funny. Like in the movies, it's always romantic and, there's these high expectations, but it's not that way in real life. Like, there's moments where, something funny happens or an awkward moment happens or whatever. And Kristen's like, I understand what you're saying. And if we were together for years and years, that would make more sense. But this is still a new relationship. We're still getting to know each other. This is a new marriage. And so it's just not received well. So they play a game, a Q&A game on the beach. Mitch opens up about how when his father passed, he moved to San Diego and he started a sunscreen. He was trying to get a sunscreen business off the ground where they didn't use plastic bottles. And, it didn't take off and he just felt like a failure. And, it takes a lot of tries before businesses are successful. So I definitely understand with him saying that he's feeling like a failure. Shucks, I be feeling like it with this YouTube thing, and I just got started. So, it definitely can get discouraging when you're putting your all into something and it doesn't work. But he said it led him to doing what he's doing now, which is like the nonprofit work and the cleaning of the world and the beach and everything. And then they get into, some funner, sexual, lighthearted things that help them to open up a bit. Like, what position do you like? Kristen likes doggy style, so does he. Who doesn't? So then they have a task later on where they have to be intimate without words and much talking. They were doing a little bit of talking and they was doing some laughing. So, but at least, it was more of a lighthearted, like giggling. It wasn't like somebody was cracking jokes and embarrassing somebody. I couldn't personally do all that on camera. Like, don't be rubbing my glutes and stuff on camera. My mama gonna watch this. Like, my father gonna see it. Don't do it. It's like, let's table this for later on. But I mean, what they was doing was rated PG compared to what Stacia and Nate was over there doing, which we gonna get to them next. But they both tell the guys and the girls when they're on their respective date, date activities, whatever. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Mitch was with the guys, she was with the girls, and they were saying, everything's okay right now, but Mitch is feeling uncertain about decision day because she was having all these demands, like, if you don't say you love me or you don't have X, Y, and Z by this, and I'm going to say no on decision day. So that's still in the back of his mind. So he doesn't know how she's feeling for real. So Stacia and Nate meet with Dr. Pia. They didn't have much going on this episode. But they touched on why, Nate wanted to know why she doesn't trust him because he hasn't given her a reason not to. And he really hasn't. And he's like, you need to articulate and tell, make it plain. Why don't you trust me? Like, why do I have to work so hard? And Dr. Pia is connecting trust with control. And she like, you don't trust him because you'll lose control of the situation. So they have a task where Nate has to, take control and lead. And she has to relinquish control, which we know is going to be difficult for her. So they go away and they go to a little getaway that, MAFS set up for them. And they have all these little kinky things where they're in these different positions, like her being handcuffed, for instance. So definitely have to relinquish control to let somebody handcuff and blindfold you. And then you're like, I'm about to put something in your mouth. Not when I can't see what it is. Wait a minute, what? I would be like Sasha in that moment because don't do it. But they were having fun. They were getting real frisky and they already consummated the marriage. So I feel like it's easier to kind of open up and do these things. It was getting real hot and heavy for Lifetime. I said, like, is this Lifetime or is this HBO Max or Cinemax or Stars? Okay, Lifetime. And now we get to the meat and potatoes. The real, I got like a front and a back page for Justin and Alexis. And it's so crazy because when I remember seeing their pictures for this season and I really thought I was going to like them. And I really don't. Not together. I like them individually, but they are just not a good fit as a couple. And a lot of it for me is Alexis. I think she just she just wants to say no. She just don't like him. Point blank in the period. But Justice, they start off with Justin. Here I go again with Justice. That is ready to love. Justin mentioned that Alexis goes out every weekend. Alexis, is just saying hey, it's only for a short period of time or whatever. You're married. Why are you going? I kind of agree. Why are you going out every weekend? You're going out every weekend because you don't like Justin. I don't understand. She thinks he's smothering her. Y'all are just getting to know each other. I don't know. So Dr. Pierre arrives and Justin mentions his concerns about her going out. She thinks he's being controlling and manipulative. And all these words that she's using, because I feel like you saying that about him, well, honestly, we could say that about you, Alexis. You trying to manipulate the situation and make it seem like he's the problem. He has an issue. Why would, no, not many people, it's given like, if y'all watch Love is Blind, like Jared and Ayana, like, unless she's saying she wants it to be fun and she want him to come out. Did he say he want to come out with you? Now, granted, if she invited you out to where she's going, I feel like there should be compromise. Like, sometimes you can go out with her and sometimes you can spend a weekend at home. That's the compromise. But you don't need to go out every weekend, even if it is to a day party or brunch. Like, every weekend is just excessive. Especially if y'all want to have children and stuff. That's just not going to work. I mean, Alexis, you're almost 30 now. So Dr. Pierre was basically asking, like, okay, well, you saying that about him, like, he's trying to control the situation, but is it your way or the highway? And, Alexis is beginning to get defensive. And then, Justin says, like, well, why did you get married? And Dr. Pierre was like, yeah, why did you get married? And she's like, I got married because I wanted it to be fun and all this stuff. You already have enough friends, okay? You have enough friends. And it's not always fun. Marriage is not fun all the time. Sometimes it's work. Sometimes you don't like each other. That's what this is for. Like, that's why they have these people in place. That's why this woman is coming to visit y'all, because it's not always going to be fun. But you thought this was. Like, this is not a game. So Dr. Pia asks if she's married, if she's ready to be married to Justin. And she says she doesn't think so. And Dr. Pia, like, there it is. And there it is. What we already knew. And Justin already knew. But I honestly feel like she ain't ready to be married at all. I don't think she's ready to be married, point blank period. She's not ready to be married to anybody. She doesn't sound like a woman who's ready to be married. I mean, some people are just, more introverted and homebodies, and some people are extroverted and more outgoing. But when you're ready to be married, I don't know. Like, all this with your friends all the time, unless that's just how y'all roll and y'all always with y'all friends. But you have to compromise a little bit. She don't want to compromise. She don't like him. If she liked him, she would compromise. Alessa talks about how she sacrifices and she had her dog got hurt. And then Dr. Peel was like, but his dog isn't even here. He literally gave up Maya. And you're talking about the sacrifices you made. And she's like, look, both of y'all made sacrifices. He made sacrifices as well. Alexa starts playing the victim, and she like, this conversation is not conducive for my mental health, and she feels like she's being attacked because you thought she was going to be agreeing with what she was saying, and she's not. Excuse me. Justin takes off his ring because he was hurt by what she said, of course. Anybody would be. Like, you saying that you don't want to be married to him. And then Dr. P was like, you can't do that every time you get upset. You can't just go around taking off your ring. I guess she trying to make it fair, but yeah, you can't do that. But it was more on Alexis to me, because why are you sitting up here? You talking about you sacrifice. He literally gave up his dog, and you don't even want to spend the weekend with him. So Justin and Alexis are outside, and they're doing their task, and he's explaining like that she needs to have boundaries and, not be out every weekend. And all I can think is, what is going on with your head, girl? I am not like one to be sitting up here critiquing people down to the ground like that. But I don't know, she was giving like, she's a Taurus, and she was giving bull realness, or what was going on with that braid in the front. And he still wants to spend time with you with all that going on, but I digress. So Alexis feels like, she just doesn't feel secure like she did on the honeymoon. And Justin says that he doesn't think Alexis understands him. Pastor Cal says, like, when they're transitioning into another scene, that he thinks that they still have a connection and all that stuff. Like, Pastor Cal, are you watching what we watching? Are you watching what we watching? You can't be. They never had a connection. He liked her. She forced herself to think she liked him, but she didn't. So Alexis did a little pole dance, and that's how Jeff D and Shawnice from Boston, the first go-around, the first time they was in Boston, got pregnant after like 6 weeks or whatnot. Like, they done met and got pregnant. All that pole dancing, okay? Y'all better watch out before y'all be stuck together. And they just celebrated their 5-year anniversary. Shout out to the couples that make it. And ain't many of y'all now these days. And ain't many of y'all not no more. So Alexis puts on blindfolds and Justin vents and says his piece, and he's upset that she has yet to ask him how he feels about Maya and having to give her up. Like, that's a big deal for him. She didn't even ask him how he felt about it. Alexis' turn, it's her turn, and she is venting. He has on the blindfolds, and she was like, basically, in so many words, saying it was over. Like, I appreciate the time we spent together. It was fun while it lasted, and thank you. Your family was nice knowing y'all, and best wishes. and best wishes on your future endeavors, pretty much. So it sounded like, to me, basically like it was over. In her confessional, she feels a way that he said that he doesn't think she's ready to be married. Feel away, Alexis, because I don't either. You don't sound like it, so you're giving him every reason to feel this way. And you said you're not ready to be married to him. So, I mean... So, Alexis complains to the girls later on that Justin isn't fun. It seems like he's, compromising and wanting to do things you want to do. But, I guess because he likes to fly kites and stuff, he ain't fun. Alexis said that her past relationships were fun and passionate. Were they? Well, what happened in those relationships? Well, let us know. Where they at now? Who was they? Where they at? Where they at? Oh. Not that one he was engaged to in high school. Oh, okay. So the guys don't like that Alexis go out every weekend. And she did say I briefly watched the after show when Keisha was like, how do you feel about the guys saying? And she's like, oh, see, they only know one side. Well, all they need to know is that you go out every weekend. And that's a fact. You admitted it. So nobody would really like that. I don't know too many women who would like it. I don't know too many men who would like it. Unless you just like, look, give me my space. Like, I'm sick of you. Get out. But other than that, especially y'all getting it's new. You want to spend time with the person. I don't see anything wrong with him wanting. When he don't want to spend time with you, that's the problem. But she might like that. So... Nate doesn't think she's, into him and into it. Justin knows that she's not into him. Like, basically, in so many words, he's admitting that he knows. And he says that it shows in the bedroom. Here we go. He said he tried to have sex with her, and she rejected him every time. Like, she don't want to be intimate. Justin also told the guys what Alexis told Dr. Via about not wanting to be married to him. And he's unsure. They were like, well, do you still want to be married to her after hearing that? He's unsure. He doesn't know. Justin, no. Don't hang on. There's nothing to hold on to. Y'all almost just about as bad as Morgan and Ben, honestly. I'm trying to think who would actually make it. Stacia and Nate and Lindy and Miguel. Maybe Kristen and Mitch. Maybe. But right now, I don't see it for y'all. I never seen it for y'all. When she said she saw you on that dating app, and she swiped to the left or right or however it went, it was downhill for me that day. But that's just me. So then they show them arguing towards the end of the episode, like on a nanny cam. And their producer steps in. And she's like, what is going on with y'all? Like, and Justin was explaining what was happening. And it's the same old argument again about her going out all the time. And Justin feels unwanted. And I understand how he feels because I think he's unwanted too. And nobody deserves or wants to feel that way. There is no lonelier feeling than being in a relationship and feeling alone. Like when you in a relationship, you with somebody and you by yourself. That is the loneliest feeling ever. Alexis thinks that marriage is supposed to be fun. Yet again, she didn't think it was going to be this way. Like, where did they go from here? No one decision day. That's where y'all need to go from here. But fortunately, it's only about 3 weeks left. So we cracking down. We coming to the end. We see a clip for next week. And finally, I think I saw Devon Franklin's face. Because was y'all just using him to get us to tune into the show? Where has he been? But and then Pastor Cal, I ain't seen him since the beginning of the season. What is going on? But it's okay. We don't even need the experts to step in no more at this point. Because some of these couples are doomed. And the ones who aren't, they ain't got nothing going on. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. If y'all watch this episode, how do y'all feel about Alexis and Justin? Are you siding with Alexis or are you siding with Justin? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like, share it with a friend, comment, and definitely subscribe. It's free, but it helps me. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.